Hey everyone, this is Jim Salvucci and I want to welcome you to this toolkit video. So today I want to talk to you about a tool that is incredibly useful for setting priorities and for making decisions. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix. So what you do is if you have a decision to make, you have a priority to set, you decide on the basis of two factors. Is it urgent, needing to get done right away? And is it important, meaning it has some long-term value to you or your organization? And once you decide that, you can put it into a quadrant. So in quadrant one, where things are important and urgent, you're talking about things that have imminent deadlines. Maybe you need to send out an important email, a critical email right away, or things like crises. You don't want to spend a lot of time in the quadrant one, the do now quadrant, because this is the type of thing where there's emergencies, there's crises, there's things that are coming up. And if everything's a crisis, nothing is a crisis. Quadrant two, on the other hand, is when things are not urgent, but they're still important. Okay, and this is the best quadrant to be in. This is the decide or linger quadrant. This is when you're planning, you're strategizing, you're taking trainings, you're thinking, you're writing, you're getting things done for the long term for yourself and for your organization, the most valuable things. In quadrant three, this is where things are not important and they're urgent. Okay, so this would be something like a non-critical email that still needs to be answered, maybe out of politeness. Scheduling things, filling out timesheets, things that need to be done that have a deadline on them, so they need to get done right away, but they might not be the most long-term thing to think about. Then finally, there is quadrant four. All right, this is the quadrant where things are not important and they're not urgent. This is what the things you want to delete, you want to limit them, you want to defer them as much as possible. Some people will tell you don't get in quadrant four ever, just delete everything there. That's impossible. In fact, there's some value to quadrant four in a weird way. This is where you're chit-chatting with people, you're talking, you're doing some social media, you might be doing things to clear your head for a little bit. You might even be doing something like cleaning up your desk, rearranging files, going through your computer files, cleaning them out. It's a time to just sort of take a break. You don't want to spend a lot of time in quadrant four. And a lot of the stuff you might do there, you might never want to do, like gossip or, play video games while you're at work. The beauty of the Eisenhower Matrix is that it seems a little complex at first, right? You got to make this decision. So what am I going to do? Every time I have a decision to make, I'm going to think, is it urgent? Is it not urgent? Yeah, that's all you have to do. Maybe the first few times you lay it out, you draw it out on a sheet, create a quadrant, decide where your next decision falls. Is it quadrant one, quadrant two? Is it urgent? Is it important, right? But after you do this a few times, it's just intuitive. It comes very quickly. So you can think about every decision that comes up very quickly. Is it urgent? Is it important? And once you do that, well, everything gets a lot easier. If you've never heard of the Eisenhower quadrant, you've never used it, try it out. Let me know how it goes. And thank you for joining me for this toolkit video.